Hi guys, welcome back. This is Marcel. I'm just coming at you today with a video. I'm just chatting, but I'm mainly chatting about being in love. And I want to chat about it because I am very, very curious and I am very, 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 very big on finding romance, finding that one, and I believe that can happen, but I'm just not sure about certain things. So I'm just ranting. Please leave a comment below if you have any suggestions, advice to this video for me. Um, Anything's appreciated. So let's get started. Be sure to like, subscribe, and please follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is nurse_Marcel. That's Marcel. So I am 32 years old, and I have been in maybe 4 relationships. I really want to say 3. And in any of those relationships, it was actually 3. So, in those past 3 relationships, I have never been in love, and I feel like it's kind of normal because when I talk to people and I get insight on it, a lot of people are like, "Well, shoot, I've never been in love either," and I'm just like, "Oh, okay. So you're not somebody I need advice from, but you always can learn from anyone." But for me, basically, I just feel like I feel different things. So I feel like when you're in love with somebody, you don't see nobody else. It's just them. Your focus is on them and them only. You only want them in your life. You only see yourself with them. I mean, it could be plenty of other things that coincide with that. But for me, it's just a straight and narrow road, and it's just like you only care about that one person and you only want that one person. So when everybody say they in love and this, that, and the third, are you really? Like, are you just playing games? Like, is this person the one that you only see? Do you have people on the side? And I was told that, a man could still love a person, still love a woman, and still cheat and still love her. And that's very true because love and in love is 2 different things. 2 totally different things. And to be completely honest, that is really where people, where the lines blur. The lines blur. Like, I feel like people mix the 2 up. I feel like people bring the 2 together, and you cannot do that. You have to know the difference. So when you love somebody, you love them. Like, you can love your family, your kids, your friends, your you can love your teachers. You love people. You can love the homeless man down the street. But when you're in love, see, being in love is totally different because now you're all in. Now your feelings are in. Now you're vulnerable. Now you feel like, this person knows your fears, your hopes, your dreams. And it's a different type of thing. And for me, that's where I fall into any relationship it was always, 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 always love there. I feel like the love there never reached in love. And I say that because when you're in love, you see nobody else. When you're in love, you're not wondering things. When you're in love, you see a future with them. And let me say not you, even though I may have seen a future and whoever I was with at a point, that point continues. It never breaks once you're in love. And for me, I knew I was never in love with anyone because of my ways, just because even the way I talk to someone or to a guy or just how we move, I just knew that I just was not in love with them. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's okay. And I'm just saying that to any woman out there, even any guy, like if you don't feel bad if you wasn't in love with the person that you with. You have to really sit there and really analyze that. Like some people just be like, yeah, I'm in love, and they throw that thing around. You know how many people I hear say, I've been in love 5 times, I've been in love 10 times. Like I said, please comment below if that even makes sense to you, because to me it really doesn't make sense. I feel like tops twice. But how can you be really in love 5 times? How can you be really in love 10 times? To me, that's just oblivious. Like, that's why I'm just like saving myself. Like, I'm not saving myself, but I'm just like holding myself to really experience that. I don't want to falsely say, yeah, I was in love, and now a year later, 2 years later, I'm not. I don't know. I just think very logic. And for me to be very, very logic, it just doesn't sit right with me. The whole love thing, the whole being in love, and then saying that you love this person, you love that person, and it literally mean in love, not just love them like, you know, like as you did a family member, but like really be in love. Is just, it crosses my mind a lot. And sometimes I ask myself, I really ask myself, do these people really know the true meaning of being in love? Now, like I said, I haven't had many relationships. I really haven't had many relationships. Like, I've gone out on dates. I've, you know, spent time with guys, like, to get to know them properly, but not in a relationship form. So you see how some girls may have had 5, 10 relationships in their life, or whatever amount, or guys might have all these girlfriends because, you know, they've been in and out of relationships. That doesn't stand with me. So I've been married 1 time, and I was married for like 7 years. And even within those marriages, and when I tell people that, they look at me like, so you wasn't in love? I wasn't. And just because you marry somebody does not mean that you have to be in love. And people have babies with people that they're not even in love with. It's called life. It is what it is. Did I love him? Yes, I loved him. He was like my best friend. But was I in love with him? Like, you have to really sit down and know the facts and be like, was I really in love with this person? Like, am I really? And the thing about me is that I never right out said I'm in love. Like, I never was like, I'm in love with you. I have never said those words to anybody. Like, I'm in love with you. And that's what I think about. Like, out of my whole 31 years, I have never, ever said like, yo, I'm in love with this guy. Like, I've never. It's crazy. And I mean, some people may be like, oh, I don't know, it's a red flag, you've never been in love. I think it's a good thing, because I feel like my feelings towards a lot of things, especially with guys, are very, very different. I have a wall up. I do. My guard is so high. And it's not because a lot of people may think, oh, what happened to you? What guy did this to you? What guy did that? It's not about whether or not a guy did something to me. It's just me learning and seeing and going through life and being like, okay, I'm going to save myself. I'm going to reserve myself and make sure I guard what's close to me. Well, 2 things that's close to me, but the most important thing that I should be guarding is my heart. Because when you give somebody your heart, you give them vulnerability. You giving them access to you that no one should really have but the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. And that's just how I feel. I go by that every day. And for the most part, I don't feel lonely. I don't, like, as of right now, I am currently single. But I don't feel lonely. I don't feel like I'm lost. I feel complete. That's number 1. You have to always know that you are complete. No, but you're not a half of anything. You are complete within yourself. So you have to be complete within yourself before you go out there and try to find somebody else. Because what if that person leaves? Now you're another half. So now you're looking for your other half again. No, you are complete. You have to be whole. And then once you whole and you know that you're whole, that other person just compliments you. That other person is just there to help you, to elevate you. They're not there to complete you. You're supposed to be already completed within yourself. And I tell myself that every day. I try to drill in my head that a man does not validate you. You are not validated by a man. Like, I have feelings, yes, and because I don't want to sound so strong minded. I don't want to sound like, oh, you're so tough and you're so this and you're so macho. I can be. But I just remind myself every day, like, this is life. And if you go about life, you're going to make mistakes. But you have to make sure that you have your headlights on and you're really, really focusing. And I don't want to ramble too much on to stay on this, but I would say this. And this is for my ladies. Like, just keep your eyes open, but keep your ears even opener. An opener is not a word, but just keep them real open. Because a guy's going to tell you exactly what he wants from you. He's always going to tell you that, hands down. Doesn't matter. You just got to close your mouth. You just got to open them eyes and open them ears. Like, have them spread out. You, instead of having something else spread out, make sure you have them ears spread out. Because he's definitely going to tell you what's up. He's always going to let you know what he wants and who he is. And it's up to you to listen to that. Because if you miss the signs and you miss that, people so quick to fall in love. Oh my God, this, that, the money, the this, the that, the that. And then they miss all the signs. They don't see it. They don't hear it. Very important to hear. So now it's just like, okay, now I'm all mixed up. Now I'm all in my feelings. Why? Because you didn't listen. He told you, we see where it goes. And you really feeling him like that. And he told you in a way, in a slick way. And I'm not going to give a little just. If you want to know, ladies, let me know. Because let me tell you this, okay? I may be all woman, but my mind, my mind is all male. Like, I still have feelings as a woman. Yes, I get frustrated. Sometimes, you know, I just quote unquote went through my heartbreak, I guess, if that's what people call it. Like, you know, I mean, I wasn't in love, but we're gonna get to that later. If you want to know about that, just let me know. But you know, I do know. I'm not gonna say like I know men like that. Like, this is not what I'm trying to say. But I have little kinks and ticks that I notice about guys. I watch guys. I listen to them. Like, you know, I have you know, like really, really close guy friends that I know and listen to them, and you pay attention and you just grab stuff. I have a brother, you know, and it's brothers, and it's just like you really, 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 really pay attention. You tend to pay attention to things that most girls don't. Most girls miss it. It goes over their head, and I really catch it, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is what it is. This is what copy. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So it's not really a bad thing to open up your ears. You always want to open up your ears. You always want to be the girl that's just aware of everything and just listening. And to get back to the falling in love thing, to being in love thing, honey child, listen. If you are like me and you've never been in love before, just know it's coming. Like, I'm always like, oh, like, I really want to experience that, and I do. A lot of people think I don't, but I do. It's beautiful. Like, who doesn't want to be in love and be loved back, and somebody loves you, and y'all both love each other, and just y'all love on each other? Like, who doesn't want that? But am I gonna like rush and then think that I'm in love and then be like, oh, I was in love, and then 6 months later, okay, I wasn't? Like, I take my time. I analyze the whole situation. You got to come at me correct. It's certain levels to it, and you can't just rush. You understand? You can't rush. You got to take your time. So don't feel bad, because I know there's people out there like me that's never really been in love before, who may have loved somebody, but it just didn't get to that point. And that's exactly what I have been going through. I've been going through recently, like, a situation with a young man where it was like, I was just like, wow. And I feel like, don't get me wrong, I have my faults. I'm not perfect, but I just feel like it just went south. It just went south. And it hurt me because you plan, as women, we get into something and it's crazy because I do this too. Like, we get into something and we map out everything. Like, I know I do. Like, I map out, especially if you feeling him and you like him like that, you mapping out everything. And I did that. And don't get me wrong, the whole situation, it wasn't a bad situation. It was just certain circumstances. Like, it was just things that, a thing, not even things. It was just like a couple of things I could say that happened. And it's just like, okay, so are we gonna work it out or are we not? And who knows? But I just feel like, don't hold back. What I've learned from that situation, that's what I'm trying to explain, is that don't hold back. If you feel, if something is going wrong and you want to explain it, explain it. Be open up. That's my problem. My problem is that I don't open up. I'm very shallow. So a lot of people will be like, I'm emotionless. I'm very emotionally unavailable. They'll say I'm very mean. They'll say I'll keep things to myself. And all of this is very, very true. Like, at least a little bit of each of it is very, very true. I can be like that. And I'm like that because I'm a private person. And I'm like that again because my guard is up. So what's wrong with me is that I don't express my feelings, and you should always, always express your feelings. It's not a pride thing. Like, take your pride, your ego, and put it aside, because you just never know who you might really be with. Like, you might really, what might really come from it. You don't want to run away from certain things, and that certain things could be a blessing. Don't get me wrong now. God, and I'm a firm believer of God. I also believe in the universe. I believe the universe gives you signs, but that's a whole nother video. But God has his way of doing things for you and making things possible for you. So don't get me wrong. Like, if something's not right for you, you're going to know it. You're going to have those times where it's like, okay, this is just not right for me, and I just need to go my way. That's fine too. But you have times where you really have to regroup, and you really have to think about, am I doing this right? Did I approach this situation right? You want to approach things in a timely manner. And I feel like, not in a timely manner, but you want to sit and think about it first. You don't want to act too much on your emotions. And you want to sit and think about it. Think about if this makes sense if I do this makes sense if I do that. And maybe you might come up with a better solution. Because I know I had times where I act on my emotions a lot. And that's not always good. You don't want to always act on emotions so quickly. You want to take that time to regroup and think about it. So being in love is, I wouldn't know, but people that have been in love, I've watched people in love. It's a beautiful thing. It's really, 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 it's like chilling. It's like, to look at. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. That's beautiful. Like, I watch stories. My favorite movie is The Notebook. And you guys know about The Notebook. If you don't know about The Notebook, if you have not seen The Notebook, I'm gonna need you right now, just pause me. I don't even care, because The Notebook is my hands down all-time favorite movie. I'm not even gonna give it away. Just know it's a love story, and it's about two people going apart and coming back together. That is my movie. I watched it when I was a teenager. I still watch it as an adult. I will forever watch it. It's so beautiful. I've cried to it. I smiled to it. And it's just all that. And it is called The Notebook, once again. Ryan Gosling is in it. And I forgot girl name that's in it, but that's my boo. And the girl that's in it, she was also in Mean Girls. She was the mean one, the leader of Mean Girls. But that is my movie. And that movie really showed me something, especially as a teenager. Showed me that. So you know what it showed me? It really showed me that no matter what, what's meant for you is meant for you. Like, it doesn't matter what happens. It's gonna, whatever's meant for you is gonna happen. And it's a movie. I get it, but the concept, it's the concept of it. It's not just about the fairy tale, the movie and stuff. Forget all that. It's the concept. Like, whatever's meant for you, it's meant for you. It's gonna be for you. It's always gonna be for you. It doesn't matter which way you turn. He's gonna turn around and go back full circle. And that is hands down what I live by. I always live by, like, if it's for me, it's for me. And if it's not for me, it's not for me. Like, I grew up and I realized that, like, maybe at 30, once I turned 30, I realized that, like, what's for you is for you. You're never going to have to worry about, like, you know how people go and they go out and they're like, I want to be a billionaire. I want to make money. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to be successful. And that's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to feel about yourself. It's really, really good. And if that's for you, it's going to be for you. And a lot of people say, well, if you take the necessary steps, you know, that might happen for you. I think that's too. But I also think, like, if you're supposed to be a billionaire and for some reason you laying up in a house and one day you might just go get a lottery ticket, then boom, you're a billionaire. Like, some things I just believe that it just happens to you and it's just meant for you. Like, that's a whole nother video, because I also believe, like, what's meant for you, like, your story is written. Like, your story is, you're predestined. Like, this is like, it's just crazy. But the whole being in love thing, like, I come back and, like, you know, I have examples. I have examples from my family, my mom and my dad. I have examples from my aunt and my uncle, who's been married for like 60 years. Which doesn't make no sense, because my aunt is only in her early 60s. But they've been married for like maybe 40 years now. Yeah, it's been 40 years, maybe 41. And, you know, it's times now, it's totally different. As you guys know, it's totally different. Like, you got so much temptations. You have so much social media. Girls are half naked. You have people shooting in the DM. You have these rappers and these girls in the videos and they just doing the do. You got everything all around. And back then, it's not to say like it wasn't no temptations. Like, you literally had to pick up the phone. Like, you literally had to like pick up the phone to see if the Negro was home. Like, no funny business. Like, you had to pick up the phone, call. You had house phones, call, hang up. Like, it wasn't as accessible as it is right now. Everything, you know, back then wasn't accessible as it is now. You just gotta shoot the DM. You just gotta shoot a text. You know, you just log on to Facebook, then boom, there go a fatty right there. You just log on to this, that. You got dating apps. You know what I mean? You just go on the street. I mean, yeah, back then you go on the street and back to shorty too. Now you driving by, you back to shorty. Like, you pick her up. Like, it's just different things. It's a different time now. So the love is not the same like my grandparents, who both was still together when like they were still together till they died, basically. And it's not the same thing. It's not like they're buried next to each other. It's not the same love that back in the days that y'all grandparents had. You know what I'm saying? Like, he coming home and he's doing this for the family. It's just so different. It's so different. And if you do find that person, if you do find that love, and keep them. Like, I feel like if you really in tune and both of y'all are in the same boat, and not necessarily the same boat, because to me, it's like if one is higher than the other, it doesn't matter which one. The male could be higher than the woman could be higher than the male. It doesn't matter, but it's all about compatibility. It's all about if you guys have the same spiritual path. It's all about if you guys have the same morals and values, which also includes the spiritual path. But you know, if you guys, you know, see eye to eye, if you guys don't argue so much, if you guys really care about your, if it's an emotional connection, that's the biggest part. Forget about the sex and all of that. Like, that is just a piece of it. That is like the cherry on the top, the bonus. You want to just make sure you're comfortable with this person. You want to make sure that you're emotionally entwined. Like, it's an emotional connection. Like, if something is not right, you know what I mean? Like, something is just not right if you're not with this person. And once that happens and you're like, you know what, it's just, it feels right when I'm with you, you got it. Everything else come after. Like, people think that bumping and grinding is so important, that that's the first thing. And this is exactly why I have my standards so high. Like, so this is exactly why I don't really rush to do anything with any guy. That's number one. And I'm not even gonna tell you ladies what to do, but this is what works for me, because it also saves me the frustration. It saves me, like, okay, I done mess with another dude. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it saves me all that headache. It protects me on many crosses across the board, because you get to know a person. And once you sit back and you get to know a guy and you get to know his values, just listen to him and see where he's coming from. That should move you. That should make you be like, oh, okay. It shouldn't be his money. It shouldn't be how he looks. It shouldn't be his car. Do not let it be his car, ladies. His car don't mean jack. It has to come from within. Once you get that bond, once you see his core values, once you see what he's about, and he's consistent, and he's smart, and he got a good job, and he love his mama, but he's not a mama boy. You know, it's just different things that you look at, and you just want to be cautious. You want to, and as you get older, if I'm talking to my young crowd, and if you are already, you know, my age or older, you still want to do that. Because let me tell you, these guys, we all know, right? We in 2021. Like, this is the era of, like, it's gonna get worse. And I feel bad for the kids of today, anybody younger than 17. Like, it's just crazy. Even a little older than 17. It's just crazy. I just feel really, really bad. And times are changing quickly. Things are not the same. Like, it's really, really not. So I just want women to be cautious in the in love thing. I'm just like, I'm confused about it. I've always been confused about it. Always been confused about it and never used the word in love. I might have like joked about it, but to be serious and to really like be like, no, I am in love with this person, no. And just to sum everything up, it is okay if you've never been in love before. That is fine. If you have, comment below. Please tell me, and please let me know, like, how do you know when you're in love? How do you approach being in love? And what to do? What's the signs to look for when a person is in love? Like, my last situation, I really, really don't. I don't want to say that I was. Like, I was doing things that I normally wouldn't, but it wasn't to the point where I'm gonna do that in a whole nother video. That's exactly what I'm doing. This was just a brush up, just to see your input on what is in love is, and just to give you guys a view of, it's two totally different things, because people get those mixed up all the time. Love and love, it has their own lane. It's two different things. And just to think about it, just to get a clear mind about it. So please comment in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, and you know, follow me on Instagram, nurse_Marcel, MARCEL. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.